in Wyoming. 200 head of cattle that they're going to shoot, and they're going to leave the carcasses there, and they want us to do better environmentally.
The easiest way to grab people's attention is to make them frightened.
Let me tell you, federal government, you can't just walk around and do whatever the hell you want without repercussions or family farmers and ranchers calling you out.
This is how we are built, really, as animals.
On what you are doing to the environment, to wildlife in that area, and to family farmers and ranchers that make a living off providing food for this country.
So if you want to distract the public from issues like government corruption,
the fortunes of Carnegie, Morgan, and Rockefeller financed surgery, radiation, and synthetic drugs.
Or like deteriorating healthcare system or deteriorating education system.
They were to become the economic foundations of the new medical economy.
When your dentist tells you, you know what, we need to save your tooth, or for some other reason, sometimes even cosmetic.
The takeover of the medical industry was accomplished by the takeover of the medical schools.
Reasons, when you do a root canal, and they drill into your tooth and they rip out the nerve from the tooth with many of these corresponding blood vessels.
Well, the people that we're talking about, Rockefeller and Carnegie in particular, came to the picture and said, we will put up money.
Then they seal that tooth shut. What does this do? It creates an abscess in there where blood cannot reach.
And I say this with an honest heart from the family farmer and rancher across this country.
The best thing is to find an external enemy that threatens the survival of the nation.
Smaller is better, independent is better, because we know.
And immediately that gets all the attention. Terrorism kills a handful of people.
And what starts to form in there is rotting flesh, anaerobic bacteria.
And you have all the government and millions of people terrified from it. Climate change.
Now, if you ask any medical practitioner, any medical expert, is it okay to put rotting flesh into your body?
Can kill not a handful of people, but millions upon millions of people.
They'll tell you, of course not, it's crazy, you're going to die, it's gangrene.
And we should place climate change far above terrorism.
Basically. Well, this is common practice in dentistry right now.
There is less room to criticize the government
on a daily level.
They offer tremendous amounts of money.
Because then you are immediately labeled a traitor. Like, this is war now, we're in a national emergency.
To the schools that would agree to cooperate with them.
We all have to unite around the government.
The donor said to the schools, we're giving you all this money. Now, would it be too much to ask if we could put some of our people on your board of directors?
And anybody who opposes that or criticizes the government is a traitor.
To see that our money is being spent wisely? Almost overnight, all of the major universities received large grants.
This is like, we saw it throughout history.
From these sources, and also accepted 1, 2, or 3 of these people that I mentioned on their board of directors, and the schools literally were taken over by the financial interests that put up the money.
So it's the same logic with, with terrorism in the West, as you say, and
Now, what happened as a result of that is that the schools did receive an infusion of money. They were able to build new buildings.
This is why very often, even in a situation when there is no real threat,
they were able to add expensive equipment to their laboratories. They were able to hire top-notch teachers. But at the same time as doing that, they skewed the whole thing in the direction of pharmaceutical drugs.
Leaders are manufacturing artificial threats.
That was the efficiency in philanthropy. The doctors from that point forward in history would be taught pharmaceutical drugs.
Where our food comes from, we know that we produce a wholesome product, and we know even with regulations and bills attacking us and our industry, we want to fight for you and your food supply.